Right, a little while ago I made this brass oil lamp on the Myford ML7 out of an old brass candlestick and various other bits and pieces I've collected. A bit of upcycling, and it turned out really nice and I'm really pleased with it. But I thought it'd be really nice to actually finish it off with a glass. And in the past I've heard of bottle cutters, so I went on the Banggood site and I found several different bottle cutters on there. This one here, and I have another one coming, a different type. This one here is absolutely excellent and I've had excellent results with it first time. When it comes to the post, it comes in this box here with the instructions on the front, but there's also instructions on the Banggood listing for this one. You have to assemble it. There's no instructions of assembly, but I just looked at the picture on the listing and assembled it from there. Checked out that I got everything nice and level and all set up correctly, and this was my first attempt with a glass bottle. And it was actually the only glass bottle that I had at home at the time, and it seems to be the perfect size to actually make a nice glass for this oil lamp. And like I say, I found this bottle cutter absolutely dead easy to set up and use. Basically you put the bottle in here up against the stop here and rotate it by hand carefully, and the glass cutter on here scores a line around the bottle. And when it's scored all the way around, you boil up a kettle of boiling water and tip it on the score mark as you rotate it carefully. Heat it right up, and I had a cold tap running, so heat this up with the boiling water and then put it directly under the cold tap and rotate it. And the first time I actually did it, the end here just dropped off, and the second time I did it, I had to hold it like that at the end and just give it a little pull, and it actually came off really nicely. That was this end here. And they say in the instructions that you can use bands around the bottle, so you put like a rubber band or an O-ring around either side of the actual score mark, and that helps the water obviously stay in the channel there when you tip it round, and keeps the water on that actual point. I didn't actually use any bands on this one and it still worked perfectly, and there was no bands in the box, but I have got some O-rings which I'm going to use next time, just to see if that's any better at all. Or you can just use elastic bands either side of the score mark just to create a watertight seal just for the water to actually go around the channel. And it's a very simple device really. It looks like it's been made up out of furniture parts. The glass cutter here comes in an assembly there, like in a block, and I've noticed on the Banggood listing, or on the actual Banggood site should I say, you can actually buy these separately at very low cost for spares. And this is what it looks like without its protective coating. I noticed in some of the pictures they show this red plastic on either end here. Mine didn't come with that, but when you get it, this edge here may be quite sharp, and I just deburred those with a small file. And the whole assembly, apart from one or two fittings on here, is made from stainless steel, so it won't rust. So now I'm going to go out into the workshop and see what I can make up using this glass. So this is the finished product, the top for the lamp. This is the air holes here, 1/4 inch BSP, so I can actually screw it straight onto the lamp. And these are those pieces of bar threaded both ends with a 4BA thread and then just screwed together. And now you can see why I had to have the same alignment for the top as the base here. I can either light the lamp before I screw the top on, or I can screw the top on and light it with one of these lighters. And I think that looks much better having that top. It's also safer having a glass like this, and obviously the flame doesn't get affected by any breeze or whatever. Also, I've made this component here out of a piece of aluminium with a 1/4 inch BSP thread in the end here, and this is the flame snuffer. It also has another purpose as well. When I actually put the flame out, I can screw it onto the 1/4 inch BSP wick holder nice and tight, and then that prevents any evaporation of the fuel. And that's what these lamps are about. Not only are they a nice looking item, they're excellent for power cuts or whatever, or camping, and they're very economical. A fill up in this tank here will last a very long time. I haven't timed it, but it will last a very long time. And then obviously with the snuffer and the lid there, it prevents that evaporation, and you can actually store the lamp anywhere safely, plus you'll have the fuel left in there ready for next time. Now in this video I did actually cut the or some of the machining out. I didn't show how I got these rods here exactly the same length, and in another video at some point I will show a technique or a method where you can load these up into the jaws of the lathe and machine them within just a few minutes exactly the same length without any problem at all. And that's very important for lamps like this, or many other things you can actually make, a batch work where you can actually load something up and quickly machine it to exactly the same length. And you need exactly the same length obviously for screwing this assembly together.